And in our top business story today, as travel spend by UAE residents is estimated to reach $29 billion by 2020, the Sharjah Investment and Development Authority, Shurooq, and the Ajman Tourism Development Department revealed key strategies and projects at the Arabian travel market today to develop their tourism sectors while also planning to attract more visitors to the UAE. On the sidelines of the ATM this year, His Highness Sheikh Abdulaziz bin Humaid Al Nuaimi, the chairman of the Ajman Tourism Development Department, formally unveiled a brand new website designed as a comprehensive one-stop gateway for travellers looking to explore and discover the Emirate of Ajman as a business, family and leisure destination. Officials representing ATDD stated that their new destination identity, under the slogan of Sincerely Emirati, will help in putting Ajman on the map as a key destination in the UAE. The new Ajman logo and website promotes many attractive features in the Emirate, including the beach, the city and mangroves, among others.
The website mainly talks about the destination as a sincerely Emirati destination, illustrating the facts of Ajman as a destination, what do we offer and what kind of activities that we have in Ajman, and what are the day trips to Ajman, like from 1 to 10 days. Also, we're featuring the food and beverage industry in Ajman, which is growing as an entrepreneur sector in Ajman as well. We believe Ajman became a family and a sporting destination for the meantime. So this is the focus for them. Now we are completing the industry when it comes to the hospitality sector. In total, we have 336 hotels in Ajman, between 5 to 1 star, plus also the hotel apartments, which is targeting the GCC visitors. Total number of visitors reached 1 million visitors by the end of 2015, and we're aiming to increase this number by 20% by the 2016.
Also attending ATM this year are officials representing Shurooq, who stated that Sharjah is a major tourism destination for residents and visitors from around the world. And this year they are highlighting unique projects, such as the Mleiha Ecotourism and Archaeological project. Adding that ecotourism projects provide strong returns on investment, senior officials stated that ecotourism is still a new but promising area of the market. And they are currently working with their strategic partners and investors to attract over 10 million tourists by 2021, in line with the Sharjah tourism vision.
Shurooq is participating in the Arabian travel market for a while. This year we are concentrating on promoting Mleiha project, which is one of the projects that actually promotes the archaeological scene in the Emirate of Sharjah. Mleiha was, as a center, was opened very recently in the beginning of the year in January. The aim was to promote this region, promote the history of this region. And this is something that not a lot of people are aware about. The history of this region goes back to 125,000 years before present, which shows that Sharjah used to be a historical area. You have a lot of archaeological sites in that area, you have a lot of activities in that area. So our idea in this participation here is to promote the archaeological site of Sharjah and also our other projects. So we're promoting Mleiha and what it has. It talks about the Paleolithic age all the way to the pre-Islamic age, and that shows that the history of this region is really rich.
Dubai welcomed 4.1 million overnight visitors in the first 3 months of 2016, a 5.1% increase over the same period last year. The figures were released by Dubai's Department of Tourism and Commerce Marketing, with strong double-digit growth from the GCC and India. The GCC delivered 25% of all overnight visitors in Dubai in Q1, with visitors from Saudi Arabia growing 14% to 476,000 from January to March this year, making it the #1 source country. India grew at 17% in the opening quarter to deliver 467,000 overnight visitors, making it the second largest feeder country, followed by Pakistan, which grew by 18% over the same period. Visitors from Western Europe continue to be the second largest source region, with a 23% visitor share, which was led by 10% year-on-year quarter growth from the UK, which remained Dubai's third largest country contributor with 334,000 visitors. Rounding off the top 5 was Germany, which brought in 171,000, France with 76,000, while Italy grew 5% with 69,000 visitors. Other key countries in Dubai's top 10 source markets for the first quarter included the US, China and Iran. Dubai's accommodation portfolio also saw growth with 676 establishments in operation as of March 2016, representing 98,949 rooms across all hotel and hotel apartment categories. The inflation rate in Abu Dhabi's Consumer Price Index for the first quarter of the year was 3.2%, compared with the same period of 2015, according to the latest report released by the Statistics Centre Abu Dhabi. The CPI for the first quarter of the year stood at 105.6 points, compared with 102.4 for Q1 2015. While annual inflation for March this year reached 2.8%, up 0.1% from the month before. Consumer prices for citizen households rose by 2.9%, followed by 3.4% for non-citizen households and 4% for share households. Figures showed that the housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels group accounted for the largest rise in the index during Q1, contributing 79.7% to the change, resulting in an increase of 7.7% in prices. The miscellaneous goods and services group contributed 6.7% to the overall increase, with prices up by 3.1%. Prices of the food and beverages group, which contributed 6% of the overall increase in the CPI, rose by 1.6%. The most significant groups which experienced increases in prices during March this year were housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels with 6.9%, restaurants and hotels with 5.4%, miscellaneous goods and services with 3.6% and food and beverages with 1.9%. Growth in the Arabian Gulf will slow to 1.8% this year, according to the IMF's latest forecasts, down from a previous prediction of 2.8% in October last year. The forecasts come as the region's economy grew 3.3% last year, and the fall is expected off the back of low oil prices, with budgets to lose $140 billion in export revenue this year. In its regional economic report, the IMF stated that the region, which lost $390 billion in export revenue last year, needs to implement further reforms to sustain fiscal budgets and to defend the currency pegs to the US dollar. They added that the fiscal deficit is to reach 12.3% of GDP this year and remain at 7% for the medium term, as the fiscal deficit reached 9.9% of GDP last year. Officials stated that the region could have 4% of GDP in savings by implementing more efficient public investment and further reducing energy subsidies, and introducing a 5% value-added tax could also add 1.5% to GDP. It was added that non-oil growth in the region will also slow to 3.25% over the next 5 years, below the 7.75% average between 2006 and 2015, which is why governments should focus on boosting non-oil growth through various measures and also reduce the private-public sector wage gap.